Hello everybody. It is Saturday the 26th of October. So my internet is back. We're back to normal. Thank goodness for something. I will never ever make another live stream in my life again. Still not over that. Right, so my internet came back yesterday and I thought, well, I'll take a quick look at the Inspired channel, and I absolutely flipped my lid at what I was hearing there. I very nearly made video yesterday, but actually I did make a video yesterday. I didn't post it because that was purely done on the energy of anger. I'm pretty much over that. But as I said, anger is your emotional knowing of there is an injustice. Yeah? And well, my anger was justified, but as I said, it's not very helpful. It brought to me a knowledge. And now I need to be getting back to reason. Right, so what I heard on the Inspired channel yesterday, yeah, was, so he said that he got information, and he didn't say where from, but he would go deeper into that. I'm waiting to hear more. I really am, because there was at least one extremely interesting point in there. I'll come to that. So he heard that this is an artificial matrix. Yeah. There was a story of that this matrix was created by an artificial intelligence that was asked by a prime natural intelligence, yeah, to create this matrix, and that then something evil came in to take over, which is pretty much what happened. Something has taken over this place. But what I found interesting, and that is, I want to know where the story is coming from, and that is where the idea came from that the artificial intelligence was charged with creating this matrix by the prime intelligence. Now, because I've never heard it told that way. First of all, we must become aware of what it is we're talking about here. Yeah? We are being given, at the moment, we're being driven into using computer language. Yeah, and that language is extremely limiting, because we are talking about far more than what a computer can do. Yeah, so really we're talking about consciousness. This is created by consciousness, not some computer chip. Because if you think about a computer, or a machine can actually only know what it's been, the knowledge that has been inputted into the machine. And that is all it can work with. It cannot get knowledge by itself somewhere. Yeah? So, and then to talk about us in this way, like we are a machine that is programmable, that is stuff that's coming out of the World Economic Forum. It's actually not true, and that is actually the lie that is keeping us confined to what we are at the moment, confined in the five senses. Because, and the thing is, it is a half-truth. Their lies are always half-truth, because we latch on to the truth, we know it, we see it. It's the best lie. A half-truth. So to a point, yes, we are programmable, and we have been programmable, very much so. Yeah, we are operating on what we are being told, the information we are being given by the powers that be. But you see, that is not the truth of us, and this is where spirituality, and why the knowledge of spirituality has been suppressed. We can know, we can gain information beyond this machine, beyond the five senses. Yeah, and then we are limitless. And it's not a question of, oh, we know it all, like we know it all at this moment. No, if you did that, you would fry. You would suffer complete information overload. But we have access to a vast library of knowledge that's beyond this world. So no, we are not. We're only programmable if we think that this is what we are. And then, yeah, the only information we can get is what we've been given. This is why spirituality is so important. That is one of the most important points of it. That we are not limited to the knowledge of this. So again, do not think in terms of computer. You can kind of liken it onto a computer, but it is a lot more than that. And thinking in terms of machine, you're limiting yourself. Think consciousness. It's created by consciousness. And here comes the interesting part in the story. So can you think of a consciousness that was artificially created? Is there a story of a consciousness that was artificially created? There's a story all over the world, creation story of us, that the being was artificially created and then it became conscious. That is the story. So Adam and Eve were artificially created from the dust of this world. We came from this world. The material came from this world. Yeah, and I really think the material is not unimportant. Matter matters. But from the material of this world, and then it became conscious. But the thing is, it was not a process of natural evolution. So we were created from this world, but not by this world. Not the way this world would create an outcome through slow evolution. So, and then we come back to that story. I really want to know where that is coming from. Yeah? The idea that the prime intelligence, which would be this world, the natural intelligence, charged the artificial intelligence with creating the realm. That would mean that we were put in charge. Because I've never been told that. Yeah? I've been told something else was in charge and it created us, so we run around doing as we're told. So that's an interesting idea, and I want to know where that came from. But again, you know, guy on the Inspired channel, John Nolan, that's his name, isn't it? He's telling the story, yeah, of the artificial intelligence that created this realm. I don't think he realizes what that is talking. That is talking about us. We are the artificial intelligence. And then natural prime Earth put us in charge? It's an interesting idea. I want to know where that came from. Right. What actually got my back up? That is the next point, what he's planning to do with this idea now. Yeah? So he's got this knowledge. And what do we do next? The action we take. And his idea is we're getting all these people together, yeah, from all fields, yeah, like physics and technology, and yeah, he said spirituality and metaphysics. So we all come together, all this great knowledge comes together, and we switch this thing off. And I was like, what? Okay. Well, I think he's talking about, hopefully he's talking about he's switching off what the evil one created to get back to prime reality. Hopefully I think he's talking about that. But, you have no idea what you're doing. Yeah? And I was thinking, we're going to switch this thing off, so we get all these people together in an enlightened bubble. Yeah, we're becoming our great enlightened bubble full of enlightened people, and we're going to switch this thing off. I'm kind of wondering, are we going to have a worldwide referendum before you go and switch this off? Yeah. Are we going to be asked, if this should happen? And then if you think consciousness, we are not the only consciousness in this world. There are at least 4 kingdoms: man, animal, vegetative, mineral. Are you going to ask them? Or are you just sitting in this, we are enlightened to the knowledge we can, therefore we shall. And to hell with the rest of them. Can't be bothered with them anyway because they're not on my level. I mean, that's such a lunatic idea. Even if it would work. I don't think it will. Hopefully it won't. I'll explain to you in a minute why I think it won't. But, that's the first thing. And that is actually where my anger came from. Justice? No. For the rest of the world? For any consciousness here? No. Again, we're back to the few in a bubble that are kind of doing something, deciding for all what happens next. I thought we were trying to get away from that. And the other thing is, and that really got me. I was talking yesterday about the age of Aquarius, yeah? And that is actually coming back to Prime Earth, knowing, going back into the ecosystems, knowing ourselves as a part, not elevated above the ecosystems. Again, learning how to become a natural part of all of this, living in balance. The age of Aquarius is the age of balance. Yeah? And as I said, that would be an intention that everybody should serve in their thinking, in their speaking, in their doing. Yeah? They must become one with the intention. And the intention should be to be in balance with everything else. Yeah, and yes, to return to Prime Earth, absolutely. Can't get no cooperation for that, because of course there would need to be cooperation amongst all to do that. So can't get no cooperation for that. But here, we're going to cooperate when it comes to tearing this thing down, something down. Is that the only time we can come together when it comes to destroying something? But we can't come together to build. The Elohim, again, they came together under an intention, and everything serves that intention. Their intention is to rule over this whole thing. So they can have cooperation. We're now building cooperation to tear something down. Can't get any cooperation to build something or to bring it back to what it should be. Is that all we can do? Either we rule over or we tear down. Are we really not creative beings that can actually build something? And here is where the whole thing will go belly up. And that is, I think, what they really do not understand. I hope they get people, true spiritual people. People with true occult knowledge that will tell them what is what. Because in order to change something, the change occurs in the first instant within yourself. The intention will in the first instant create you, and then it will become a reality. Yeah? It is the creation of a self that then will from within create without. So if you come together under the intention of destroying something, that is what you will become, the destroyer. Those inside of the bubble will be the destroyer. Oh, I wonder if they're clear about that. Yeah? Because again, that is actually what the New Testament is teaching you. You change within first. You become. And then outside will be added onto you. So they become the destroyer inside of that bubble. They are not becoming the creator of something. And as I said, do they then know what they're doing? What is it you're switching off? And now you're going to ask the rest of us. But as I said, it is coming together under an intention, and to go up against is the wrong way. The correct way is going toward the light. So the intention must be, so if he says we are returning to prime earth, then that must be the intention inside of the bubble for that to manifest. If the intention inside of the bubble is to destroy, it will create destruction. So again, can we get any cooperation on the way of light, going toward the enlightened outcome? Apparently not. And the last thing is that wanting to be that, wanting to be part of prime earth, that is learning how to be in an ecosystem. That intention will be given to. We become the fullness of the intention, that intention will be given to. That is what the New Testament teaches you. Now, what happened to Jesus, and here's the thing that you really must understand what happened there. Yeah? He became an intention. He created himself, and he was flung out of this reality once the change was completely made. He had become that being. That is the ascension. And yeah, if we keep going this way, I really am beginning to think the rapture is going to happen. Not because some God is lifting you out of here, because you have become something that is incompatible with this world. And you will be flung out. And again, it says something in this world that is solely the destroyer. Everything gives, everything receives. Everything has got the potentiality for both. This is a duality. Again, you become a oneness. Jesus became a oneness. Just one thing. And that is not part of this world. So I'm really beginning to think the rapture is going to happen. And as I said before, if an ecosystem loses a part, usually it can compensate. If tons of parts all over a sudden go on the same path, and the ecosystem loses tons of parts of itself, how much can we afford to lose? How much can we compensate for? And that is the wrong way. I think it will lead to a rapture. That's what happened to Jesus. And that's the last thing that again, see what happens in that story. So Jesus went on that path because he was living in a time of great upheaval, of great oppression. It was not a good time to be Jewish, because of Rome. And a wise man once said, if you really have hit rock bottom, or you think you have hit rock bottom, the worst mistake you can make is to think it can't get any worse. So what happened in that story is, again, he went within. He created inside in order to be given outside. Self. He created a self, a new self, reborn into a new self. And then he went from a place of great oppression in Jerusalem, and then he left this reality. He reappeared in Jerusalem in the middle of a complete bloodbath. Complete bloodbath. So to me, that was a classical case of from the frying pan into the fire. And again, did he know what he was doing? No, he was operating. He was given instructions from somewhere else, and he was operating on blind faith and trust. And he switched his own brain off. For myself, I do not think. I'm being told what to think, what to do, what to say. And that's where it got him. Really understand what that story says. Yeah, the whole idea is lunacy. And it is going the wrong way. It is going the way toward where all your energy is on destroying. It is not on actually reaching the outcome that you want to reach. And that's where your focus must be. Your focus must be on the outcome. Neville Goddard. Anyway, so this is the last thing. And this is what we're actually looking at, I think, is the Hermetic principle of rhythm, the swing of the pendulum. Yeah? The pendulum has been swung all the way one way. That is the information about ourselves, the knowledge of ourselves, the understanding of what we are and what we're in and how this works. That understanding was withheld. We've been driven full on into ignorance as far as it can get us. Yeah? That's where we're at. And now the pendulum is starting to swing. Yeah? We're waking up to other possibilities, to what we might be. And now the pendulum is swinging the other way, and there's the law of rhythm, that to the amount it has been pushed one way, it will swing the other. And that is where we are swinging from complete ignorance into we are all infinity and beyond. And we are swung past the point of wisdom and true enlightenment, which would be somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Now, what it says about the occult masters, of those that have mastery of the knowledge, yeah, they understand that they are creating themselves. They fully understand that. Yeah, and the alchemists talk about turning lead or base metal into gold. They know that is talking about the being, not actual metal. And they understand that by the mastery of themselves, they are no longer swung by the pendulum, because they determine the point at which they stop. And that is mastery of yourself, not allowing yourself to go far out into all possibilities, but to restrict yourself. You're the master of yourself. You restrict yourself to the point where that whole thing actually makes sense. Yeah? And to become that. And that is an enlightened being of wisdom that has mastery of its own thoughts. And again, at the moment, people have the knowledge that everything is possible, but they do not have the mastery of themselves to know where to stop. And as I said, they only have a half-baked idea of how this is working. I mean, I'm not saying what I'm saying is right and either, but this, the fact that I can bring a different possibility at all, yeah, means there should be a discussion. Yeah, if you have more than one idea, there should be a discussion. We really do not know yet. So to bring everybody together to recreate because we can is not a good idea. We're running before we have any idea what it is we're running to. But as I said, I'll keep an eye on this. I mean, if there's truly people of great knowledge, hopefully they would not even join that lunacy. And I really want to know where that story came from about the AI being charged by the prime reality. Were we put in charge? In which case, this is our responsibility. You know, we are the ones that should be doing something. And what were we charged with? Again, this world is a world of balance and ecosystems. Were we charged with maintaining the balance, or were we charged with destroying something else? And then we must be on the point. The point is to maintain the balance. And that is where all our focus, all our energy should be. And if there is something else out there, if that no longer receives of our energy, but our focus is somewhere else, it will go away without us fighting it. It will just disappear because it has nothing left to energize it. Anyway, here, folks, I leave it at that for today. And I talk to you again soon. Bye.